Hi, my name is Haley Hastings, and this is going to be my first YouTube video. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit about myself. So I go to Mount Ida College in Newton, Mass. I major in forensic science, and I absolutely love it. So forensic science is basically the collection of different types of evidence to help solve a crime. Not every crime is solved based on forensic science. Sometimes it's more of a confession or video. There's a bunch of different evidence that can be collected considered forensic science. There's DNA, there's fingerprints, there's ballistics. They actually have forensic accountants out there that can go through bank accounts and everything like that and solve a crime that way. I also have PTSD, so I actually have a single room at college. I have short-term memory loss, which is sometimes hard for me for certain classes. Anything that is like forensic science related, I have no trouble with. But with my non-forensic science classes like anatomy and biology and stuff like that, I have a really difficult time with those. Because there's just so much memorization, and it's not the field I want to go into, so it doesn't interest me. So it's a lot harder. I am still on the waiting list to get testing, and I should be able to get that testing fairly soon. So I am a survivor of PTSD. I'm not a war vet. It's not everyone who has PTSD is because they were a veteran. Not every PTSD survivor's PTSD is completely the same. Yes, there are similarities, like someone who came from Afghanistan or Iraq. They're completely different and they have constant nightmares every night, but it's because of what they witnessed out overseas. For me, it's what happened to me as a child, and it's also some of the fears that I have of myself. People can have PTSD from because they got mugged, because they witnessed a plane crash, because they were in a plane crash, because they were sexually assaulted, they were beaten as a child, they were abused as a child in all different ways. They can be a war vet, they can be basically anyone who is traumatized. Like Whoopi Goldberg has PTSD because she witnessed two planes collide in midair. I have PTSD because I was abused as a child. My mother died when I was 10, and then my biological father decided to start abusing me 3 years later because his girlfriend told him to. I have overcome many obstacles. It has taken me years to get from the dark place that I was in once to now. It did not happen overnight, and I did not know I had PTSD until like my sophomore, junior year of high school. So 2013, 2014 is when I actually found out I had PTSD, but I had PTSD since I was probably 11 or 12. So I had all these feelings and built up anger and crying all the time and not knowing why. And finally I learned, like, I have PTSD and this is what it is and this is how you can control it. And I controlled it by going to therapy and just talking. So I can control my panic attacks out in public, but when I'm alone I can't. One thing I can't control is the crying. I hate the crying thing in front of people. It makes me feel weak and vulnerable, and I don't need to feel like that because I am so strong, and I've went through so much. I feel like how I look at me and my PTSD is positive way. So yes, I have PTSD, and I have a bunch of struggles constantly every single day. But I feel like if my mom didn't die, my dad didn't abuse me, my grandparents wouldn't have gotten custody of me, and I wouldn't be at college right now. I feel like that I would have dropped out of high school. Maybe I would have been addicted to drugs and alcohol. I'm not 100% sure. I just believe that if what happened to me as a child didn't happen, I know that I wouldn't be at this college that I am right now. I just wouldn't care. I would have given up on life and just done everything that, like, I would have given up all my goals and stuff. My goals are to become a forensic scientist, possibly also a crime scene investigator. I would like to be employed in the FBI one day. I want to write murder mysteries, and I would like to open a huge animal shelter and try to save as many animals' lives as I can. So those are my goals, and I feel like if my life wasn't as horrible as it was, then I wouldn't be able to accomplish any of those goals. So that's how I look at it. I look at it as a positive thing, but it's also a negative thing. Yes, it affects me in all these different kind of ways. Like, I have constant nightmares, I have short-term memory loss, I have all this kind of stuff. But I can overcome it. I don't let it control my life. Yes, there's times like I have an attack, PTSD attack, and I can't help it. And then there's the crying and I can't help it. But I try not to let it control me. I have no contact with my biological father. I do not speak to him. I consider that I still hate him. Because I never want to speak to him again. I never want to see him. He doesn't deserve to know anything about me. I don't care if he is sorry or not. He was an obstacle that I had to face and leave behind. He doesn't deserve to know anything about me because I am me. And I'm not going to let what he did to me affect me and control my life. Because if I let him back into my life and I talk to him and let him know everything about me, he's controlling me all over again. Because all I can think about is what he did to me, and that's not what I want to think about. I don't deserve that, and he doesn't deserve to know about me. You have to look at your obstacles as a positive and not a negative, or you are gonna be in this deep, dark hole of depression, and you're never gonna be able to get out. And people love when I tell them, like, I don't think about my PTSD as negativity. I look at it as a positive way. And a lot of people don't ever hear that, is that PTSD is a positive thing sometimes. Like, it's awful that I have it, or that anyone ever has it, because it really does suck. With all these obstacles that I face every day, but I don't let it stop me from getting to my goals. So that's just a little bit about me. So I hope you kind of enjoyed this first little video. Please give it a thumbs up. Comment anything you would like to know, some tips on how to overcome these obstacles every day, or what I should do for my next video. Alright, so that is it for today. I hope you liked my first video. Bye!